Alright, today we're going to be talking about skyboxes in the dojo that were introduced. They're a bit more finicky than you would think at first glance. The 6 that we were given to start with are the Ceres, Deimos, Earth, Saturn, Venus, and Void backdrops. We may get more in the future, but we'll just kind of have to wait and see. Currently, these are only usable in open space, Inspiration Hall, and observatories. This may change later as well. I kind of expect them to add it to the Starlight Market Room, but that's not an option just yet. If it ever does change, I will have it in the pinned comment below. But to start, let's talk about how skyboxes are obtained. If you head to the Tenno Lab, the Chromatic Research Console has been added. It's just to the right of the Pigment Console. You go in there, they aren't very expensive, honestly, but you just research those. They don't have prerequisites, so you can start all research at the exact same time. These do give clan affinity, oddly enough. I didn't expect that one. It's also a one and done. It's not like you have to keep paying for it like pigments and colors per room. It doesn't cost resources to apply it to a room. You just go to the console, choose select backdrop, and pick it, and it is instantaneous. You don't have to wait or pay for it. Just fantastic. The kind of big issue I see right now is once you've selected a backdrop, you can no longer go back to the default backdrop that the room had before. So say I went to my Bloodborne room and I applied a backdrop there, I would never be able to change it back to the default backdrop it had, which is problematic because in that case I had the planet aligned at a spot where Garment's chair was facing it perfectly. So that's kind of one issue. The next thing to talk about, however, is how skyboxes are oriented, because a lot of people think that skyboxes have one general orientation, and that is not true. Skyboxes are pointed in the direction of your spawn room. So I'm going to use my Firelink Shrine as an example here. The console is at the bottom, so the opposite side of the room is where the skyboxes will point, so to speak. So on my layout, that points towards the dry dock. And if I go to the dam room I have, you'll see that the planet just kind of pops above the mountains that I've got, which is kind of how I planned it. And then if I go and change the spawn room to the hall that it is adjacent to, then is pointing to the left compared to where it was before, and we go back in and look, and sure enough, it has changed directions. If we go to this infested hall over here that is pointing up compared to Firelink, which was pointing down, and then we head back in, sure enough, once we climb up here and take a look, it is completely flipped around. This happens to all skyboxes with the only exception of the dry dock, because its skybox is independent. Please do not ever ask me why it works this way, because I have no fucking clue. It makes zero sense to me, but it is what it is. In terms of skyboxes though, particularly for open space, I know some people have been wondering, are you able to decorate the skybox akin to how you're able to do it with the orbiter planetary skyboxes or with the dry dock skybox itself? I wouldn't be surprised if you can, but the problem is locating where on Earth you could do it. For example, the Oricon Lab, you can technically decorate that skybox, but the place to do it is like leagues above the dojo, and it's in this spot that you just would never guess. And I've seen it once before, and I don't want to go find that again. If I ever do find a way to get to the place where you could decorate the open space skyboxes, I will put out a video for that, but for now, let's just plan on that not ever happening.